Green Light Talk 2022, episode 2. Action.
You sit around like you don't know what to do. Chip on your shoulder, you got something to prove. Make that move, don't be afraid to lose. Flex your muscle like you on the joke.
Welcome back to Green Light Talk. Hey, you already know what it is. This is episode 2 of 2022. I'm here with my brother from the same damn mother, Kyle Green. Hey, we about to rock with this. Welcome to Green Light Talk,
where everything's light.
where everything is always like, hey, bro. So man, we had a week. We had quite a week, bro.
Definitely did.
Share something about your week, man.
Shit, my week was hard. I had a hard week this week. I ain't gonna lie, man. Between my job, between the weather, everything that was going on, I had to like balance out. I had to like really like balance out everything that was going on this week with me because it was just, I feel like this last week was like a hard week on me. I don't know what you like. How was your week?
My week, it wasn't too hard because I feel like I don't look down the block. Like I'll take care of today and just look at today. So like the day to day, you know what I mean? Like of course things gets hard and like, you know, things get like, you know, they pile up over time. Like your checklist, you thought you had like time to do 5 things, but you only got to 2 things. So like, I mean, my week was like just balancing like my checklist. You know what I mean? Yeah. So it was really just boom, 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 boom. But I mean, it's been good, bro. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah. So everything's been like, bro.
I'm still alive.
Right, we all still alive.
So I can never ask for nothing more than that, no matter how my week was. You know what I'm saying?
That's the only thing, man. But we got some new topics this week.
Yeah, new topics.
We got some new topics.
Some good topics, some gritty topics.
Some gritty. Let's get real gritty.
Let's get real gritty, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which you want to kick it off first?
Let's dive into, you know, you can't be a prisoner in your own mind.
Talk to him.
You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people, they let themselves hold themselves back. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I'm guilty of that too. And it's like, if you're trapped in your mind, you're not gonna be able to do anything else outside of like what's going on with you and your problems. Like for example, like at work, like I'm thinking about something else when I should be thinking about my job. But because I'm trapped in my mind, it's like it's not able to be. It's like it disabled me from thinking about my job. And like when you start to feel like that happen, you gotta like take a step back and like reevaluate yourself.
Yeah, because I mean being trapped in your mind, that's living in your own space, and that goes back to like one of the points that we were talking about earlier, like the main character syndrome.
Right.
You know what I mean? Where you think like you're the person at the foreface of everything, and you're the only one with the problems, and everyone caters to you, and why me, like type of thing, right? So it's like
why me?
That happens when you when you're trapped in your mind. You keep battling back and forth like with like reality and like what's your reality. So it's all perception too at the end of the day.
And then like it feel like it's like a handicap. It's like you can't do anything else because you're holding yourself back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
so what do you feel like you do? Like when you're conscious of like being trapped in your mind, like how do you snap out of it?
The way I handle that is like by being around people like that. So that way I'm not constantly thinking about something or working on something like a project or like keeping my mind busy. So that way I'm not focused on like what's going on in my life.
Right.
That like, you know what I'm saying?
Because they say an idle mind is a terrible thing to waste.
Right,
and an idle mind is like the same thing of like living in your mind.
Living in your mind.
Because you're just sitting and you're not really doing anything outwardly.
Right.
Like you don't see, I feel like when you're in your mind, you don't see there's no scale to your progression. Because when you're like trying to get something, then you can scale your progression. But when you're in your mind, you're like, oh man, maybe I should do this, maybe I should do that. And you start overthinking
stuff and you start making mistakes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's like, the overall goal is to like be open and let stuff be like water. Like you gotta be water. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta let stuff run through you. You know what I'm saying? Cause like people be like, yo, this joint don't bother me. Like this joint don't bother me. It's like everybody like says that, but stuff does bother people. But like if you've been through a lot of stuff, after a while, if you go through the same stuff, you start to be numb. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
wouldn't you agree? Like you go through the same thing twice, it's not gonna affect you as much as you went through it the first time.
Yeah.
Like that's how you build. Oh, this don't hurt me. You know, that's how people get to say, oh, this don't really faze me.
When it does.
Yeah, but when it does, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Right. You just get comfortable.
You just comfortable and used to it. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like,
I've had that happen to me a few times.
yeah,
A few times, just doing the same thing, getting the same result,
right.
and like kind of being like damn, like this wasn't normal the first time, but I've normalized this happening.
Yeah, I normalize it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
just
for
with
sure.
all like the shootings and everything that happens in the world with like things that are connected to death. It's like you kind of see it every day, and it's kind of normalized.
It's normalized
in your world, but there's a lot of stuff that like isn't normal,
Yeah.
but it's just consistently happening
Yeah.
that you kind of really don't get to
Yep.
feel sensitivity
And you know what
towards.
that does? That builds up trauma.
Builds up trauma.
That
Yeah.
builds up trauma. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because you like, imagine, like, for example, you go to your friend's house, but you're so used to being at your house, like, and how what's your shit like is going in, like how your family does stuff, and then you go to your friend's house, you're like, hold up, damn, my family be tripping, my family be bugging, like
Yeah.
my friend's family's not doing this,
Right.
but like, you think that's normal, like until you get outside your bubble. You know what I'm saying? So people deal with trauma that way too as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like being trapped in your mind and like,
There's it's funny because like a perfect example of just doing the same thing and you thinking it's normal
yeah.
when it's really not. I remember when I was in high school,
Mhm.
I used to like early in the morning, right?
Right.
I used to wake up when there was like 10, maybe 15 minutes
Right.
left to get on the school bus,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So
I remember
I'm
that.
thinking it's just normal because I'm in high school. Like as long as I made it out the door and catch that school bus and I'm in school first period, I'm
Right,
good.
I'm good.
But not knowing that there's people
that
that wake up
like,
an hour, sometimes even 2 hours before school, and they're ready for the day.
Ready for the day.
But me, I got on the trail of like
Yeah,
waking up 15 minutes,
15
and I'm like, damn, why am I tired first period?
Yep.
Like, why am I tired throughout the
Yeah.
first half of the day? I'm not up until the second half.
But you thought that's normal. You thought that's.
I'm
Yeah,
normalizing.
you
I'm
normalized it.
normalizing being late.
Yeah, being late.
Being late,
Being
basically.
That's basically what you're doing.
Yeah.
Like you're normalizing being late.
Uh-huh.
And like that shit ties into life. Like school gets you ready for life. Like that aspect. I'm not saying like the math and all that stuff because you don't use that. But that aspect right there that you just said, like
Yeah.
that gets you ready for life.
Right.
If you think about it, you're up for school at like what time? 6? That's
Six,
jobs
yeah.
don't even ask you to. Some jobs don't even ask you to come in that early.
Uh-huh.
But think about how that's getting you ready. You know what I'm saying? So like you said, like you 15 minutes late to the bus, and the other person wakes up like in the morning, like say if he has to be at work at 6, he's waking up at like 4,
Right.
brushing his teeth, washing his, doing his thing.
Uh-huh.
So that way he got the time to chill, and then he could go to work. You're rushing, like you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
You might get there late. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. That
So
just
it's like-
goes. That just goes to a point where you want to attack your day
Right.
and not let the day attack you.
Right. Preparation.
You know what I mean? That preparation is key.
Preparation is
Proper
key.
preparation prevents
Yeah.
poor performance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Stuff like that, like how we had to, like we just didn't like start doing this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah. Right.
We set up maybe like 3-4 hours before.
Yep.
Like we had to get everything in line to where we can present something that's worth viewing, that's
Yeah.
worth like our time.
Yep.
Because like when you prep and like when you actually set that time ahead of time, things come out, if not a lot better, like overall better if you didn't prep.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's life though.
Yeah, that's life.
That's life. You got prep with
Yeah, you
everything.
gotta prep with everything.
The times in life where I felt the most prepared
Yeah.
is when I took
When
the
you
time
yeah.
to really like go over
Yeah.
some stuff, study something, look
Right.
over
Right.
a test,
Right.
a workbook,
Right.
a playbook, like
Right.
whatever the case is. I felt the most ready.
Because nobody wants to be that guy creeping in the door.
Mhm.
You know, like when you're late. Nobody wants to be like, think about when you get to class, everybody's here, and then you creep in the door, you that guy. Like
Right.
nobody wants to be that guy.
Uh-huh.
Like even at work, you don't feel like you don't even want to walk past your boss when you're late.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? But when you're early, oh hi, hey, what's up? It makes you like a better, like it gives you a kind of better character. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean that's what
You know what I'm saying?
that's what life is like. You
Yeah.
always want to be the it's integrity.
Integrity.
It's integrity
Yeah.
because if you get a playbook, I'm just using the analogy of sports. If you get a playbook and your coach says study this, right? He's giving you the benefit of the doubt that you're gonna study that, right? And when you come up prepared, that was integrity. You didn't study it. You know what I mean? So it's just little things like that. But I mean, shoot, talking all this talk, I feel like it's time to get to the jewels.
Let's drop the jewels.
Let's go ahead. Drop them for one time.
You want to
go
drop
real quick? Go ahead.
You gotta live in the future.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta live 2 steps ahead. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you live for now, you're not doing anything. Like you're not like something right now, something's not created. Like that guy who's living in the future is creating it. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's manifesting it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, regardless of what people say, like, oh, that's not gonna work, or this not gonna work. Yo, if you're in the future, you're good. Like that when people get consistent with like going to work, coming home, and their daily stuff, they think, oh, you can't do that because they're stuck in their daily ways. If you're in like me, for example, I want to live in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to live in like 60. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to like, that's where my head space is at. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I challenge like live in the future.
I mess with that. Hey. And that goes into this point I'm about to make. My jewel is the cliche saying from the movie back in the day, Field of Dreams. Mm-hmm. If you build it, they will come. Right? If you build it, they will come. And I'm dropping this jewel. If you build it, they will come. Is whatever it is that you want to do, set it up. Start doing it. Start chipping away at it each day. Start making it come into existence, because nobody else is coming to save you, and nobody else is gonna have your vision like you do. So that's what I'm saying, man. If you build it, they will come. All right.
That ties into this right here. Anybody that's building something out of scratch, me and my brother are free of charge, willing to promote you. Local DMV, holla at us. We're willing to promote you guys.
Hey, holla at us, man. We local. Hey, we love local brands. And we like to support all that good stuff, man. Hey, this is Green Light Talk. Hey, bro, we signing off where everything's Light 2022, second episode. Hey, remember, like, subscribe, comment. Hey, keep messing with us.